It's 2 minutes gone past 9 o'clock, and it's to the point for today, Friday, the 17th day of October. And as I hinted to you earlier, we've got no active guests in the studio. So this morning, what I will do is that I'm going to give you the opportunity to talk on anything you think that is most pertinent at this time, and let your calls stay in line with the name of the program, right? To the point. So just get to the point and leave, all right? 435-2041. That is the number to call. Let's go straight to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning. How is everything?
Everything is fine. How about you?
I'm blessed. Living the best in the whole world, we need now.
Okay, good.
No, well, listen, a lady called this morning there after 7 going back to Sweet and Dini. And I never listen to no woman calling you and give this positive vibes concern growing up building. She should be working in the ministry. Somebody in the ministry better than ministers working. If you have ministers in authority, government ministers, and they have no vision to run a country, why shouldn't they be in politics? Politics is vision. Can't you go last week, you go last month, you've been there, how long you've been there? You have to have plans for the country to go forward. Why you see them men who in politics, who go into politics, maybe only going for the 2 terms to make money? They money up and get a 2 terms and get money for life.
Okay.
Because you can't meet something the way how you meet it and maybe the same way you go out. Nah. The woman she work in the public works department. She have plans, she have vision to good things, but money is the one to do everything in life, eh? If you cannot have good roads on the ground, you can build flyover.
Okay.
And if you plant Grenada, never thought that Grenada reach in that position where you have big 4-wheel and 6-wheel and 8-wheel vehicle running the road. They never thought about that. It was Donkey Cat, it was in the past. So they build a city close by, roads close by, house close by. You can extend nothing going to widen. That we meet them, we just continue putting tar on top of the mud, right down the road.
Okay.
We don't plan, we don't have no plan to go nowhere yet. Up to now, we don't have no plan to go nowhere.
Okay.
We just live in Viking, but we have a plan, you have to go forward 21st century, but we're not in 21st century.
All right.
We're not even 10th century yet.
Okay, thank you, caller. Thank you very much. And I do hope that the relevant authorities are listening and that they can start doing some active planning for us going forward. Let's go back to the telephone line and say good morning.
Morning, Innocent.
Welcome to the program.
To the Southern viewers. I'll start my contribution this morning myself. Where ignorance is bliss, to folly to be wise. And this is by Shakespeare. And also there's a proverb that says, ignore the noise that in the market, ignore the noise by the sale in the market that comes. Now, people believe that because we have loud voice, that we necessarily correct and that kind of stuff. But there are a lot of contradiction in what our people say. For instance, we trying to address the traffic situation without asking ourselves, how did we arrive at that? I mean, the thing about it is that why haven't we thought about having a proper transport system that would take care of the majority of people and also facilitate the people that need individual, like for instance, who would need to have the individual transport and so on, like people in the health services and so on. What we have done, we have followed other people, particularly the United States, which is the most car-centric country in the world. And then we have allowing ourselves to become dumps. A lot of the cars in Grenada are obtained because they became obsolete or almost obsolete, and they were disposed. I've seen that in El Salvador, I've seen that in Togo, I've seen that in Haiti. We are doing the same thing here. And it's because we want to be other people. We want to be, without trying to step back and ask ourselves who we are and what we have. We are trying to make New York, Miami, Paris, and London in this place. We can't. We have to use the ecology, we have to use the topography we have to suit. A minister in a people's government one time said, cut $2,000 and set up a train station. I mean, this is ridiculous. As one, they say they set up something to go to Karakura Bridge or whatever. There's certain things that we have to forego. In fact, there is a proverb that says the best investment you make at times is those that you didn't take. We want to, and I said it the other day, we are allowing the economy we have allowed the economy to capitalize society, and everything is around the economy. So those people who are promoting solution in terms of building things in the sky and all that kind of thing, what's the problem? They fall out. Of course, we question the word sustainability, and I too, because I don't think our people understand it, because a lot of things we're doing, doing business models that are only bringing us further in the brink of extinction. We have to step back and ask ourselves fundamental question, and envisioning what kind of world or society we want the future generation to have, and not just think about ourselves. We are ruining things. We are making things uncomfortable because we are telling each other, do what you want. That is why the recklessness in the country in terms of the lack of law, adherence to law and so on. We are not, the school system is a shambles because, as you said, why are citizens not cooperative? Why are citizens not law-abiding? Why do we don't want to pay our taxes and all that thing? Is because people are being taught if they could get away, get away. There's a lot more I want to say, but I don't want to cut me off in a sense. But we must have deeper and broader conversation, and not because we have loud voices. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. It's 9 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's to the point. And let's go back to the telephone line again. Good morning, caller. Caller, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Joseph. Greetings. You know, Mr. Joseph, when I hear these calls from the brothers and sisters in this here country today, it solidifies my position. Let's listen to this, brothers and sisters. Why is it every day we're in deja vu, the same thing over and over again? Here is why. Because never in the history, of this here country has a people, as a collective, sat and spoken among themselves to make decisions for the moment, but seriously reflecting on the past and to make decisions for the future. We have never done that. Whatever we live on and over the past almost 52 years, under the imperial order and council of the Queen's Most Excellent Majesty, we love it and we remain right there. And we don't go beyond, because even we have the capacity to go beyond, we are limited. We are limited by the influence of the monarch. And because that system sets up a quote-unquote tete for those who get into the quote-unquote ruling political class. There it goes. Even some of us who are quote-unquote done said, and a lot of us, once they get into the class because they have who to talk to and where the money is, and going to $1 million deals to own parties and so on. That is why, brothers and sisters, believe me. But mind you, we do your research. I urge you to see for yourself. Get into your telephone, your smartphone, and Google there. A joke I'm making with the word, don't worry. The theory of the Constituent Assembly, and see what it does. The Constituent Assembly is where the people get together by an elected group of people. Just like we have a government, we elect them. We elect people that we feel can speak and put our case forward to sit and decide a future for the country. We need to do that. We cannot continue. Let me just put it simply to end here. We can't build a house from a window. From the window up. We have to establish a foundation. The foundation of Grenada is rotten. It is perverted. It is corrupted. It has been tergiversated. They don't like that word, but they know what it means. Corruptly and stupidly managed. Designed and managed. It has been designed to keep a few ignoramus forces in power. Until you understand that, brothers and sisters, this is where we go, you never stop. But remember that within this here country, there are people capacitated who are not necessarily demagogues nor politicians. But they try to shut us down. I will end by saying, Mr. Joseph, I'm still waiting to have a debate or discussion with those hyper-academic, pseudo-intellectual charlatans who have taken this country into a hoax with these laws that they passed the last time in July or when. Let us talk about, because they violated the constitution of the country. That's why we ain't going away until we change a new constitution for Grenada. Take it from me whether you like it or not. Have a nice day, William, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. 13 minutes after 9 o'clock as we head back to the telephone line. Let's go back and say good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent. How are you?
Alive and thankful. Welcome to the program.
And thank you for your open session at this time. I was trying to get on this morning, but the line was very, very... First time you initiated a point and feet going through like
yeah.
you break hell.
Gets better with time, yeah.
Hell was broken loose.
Yeah.
But a very important topic. Let me say that, Innocent, the problem with transportation in Grenada, in terms of the traffic congestion, let us be honest with ourselves. There are limited amount of traffic congestions in the outside town, like Grenville, Sutes, Guelph. The majority of the congestion takes place at St. George's. And that congestion is at a particular time during the day. It is not continuous. It's at a particular time during the day. And it is before the work starts and after the work finishes. What do we do? How do we deal with it? I heard so much comment this morning about building new roads, and Grenada have too much of roads, in roads and by roads, too much. Too much. The government can't even maintain them. Innocent, what we need to do is to get rid of our selfishness. And let me put that into context. If you take a survey of the vehicles that is coming to St. George's and down to Granans on a daily basis, almost 95% of them, single people in a car or a van or whatever. One person in one vehicle. Everybody is going to a different workplace. Sometimes in the same workplace, some companies don't even have space for the workers. Selfishness. Where is the idea of carpooling? Innocent, we have to get to the point where people even if you are working in a different company, but in the same area, that you can able to pool people, 2, 3 persons, 4 persons. You're going to work. Yes? It is not a weekend when you take your family out and go around the country line or go in a social event or whatever. It is a work day. And that congestion is concentrated up until minutes 7 after 8. One of the problems that we have to, Innocent, and some people may not like it, is the traffic lights that they install. This is creating more congestion than you will ever think. I mean, save and accept those vehicles on the side of the road, but the traffic lights are further impediment to the free flow of traffic in the town and into Granans. Are you disputing that? Can you dispute that? Because before, when the traffic light was there, and when it ceased for a while, we had a smooth flowing of traffic. But then soon after they reinstall it, traffic jam all up Belmont, Springs to go to Granans. Why that is happening? And I say some of it may be vehicles parking on the side of the road, but a majority of it is a lot of persons who refuse to carpool so that you can have 2 or 3 other friends who is working in the very same area, some of them in the same company. And you can alternate your vehicles because all of them are vehicles. And we can safely have a reduction in the number of vehicles going into those places at a particular time during the day. Okay. There are people who is going to do their business, regular business, and obviously you cannot deny them access to going to these places. But there may come a time when the government will have to maybe erect some car parks in certain areas where people can, so you can't walk from St. George's to Granans. You must go with a vehicle. So it is impossible to erect something much, maybe quite long in Granans, where people can park their vehicle and walk. All people don't want to walk these days, innocent. Everybody want to ride from here to there, 100 feet they want to ride. They want to be driving. When we see walking, that helps in terms of the health of the population.
Right.
Good enough that the government has appointed a transport commission, a board. And I do hope that this board, you see that discussion that is taking place here is very healthy, that they can be able to come together and have some consultations with the population as to how best we can address this situation.
Okay.
Combine those things, sift it, and make the best one work. Because trust me, I think some of this thing about new roads and whatever, you see the thing about the community car parking, it's an excellent idea. When I look at Bushejou, when I look at Brizan, when I look at other communities where those people are just parking on the side of the road and with no consideration for other people.
Okay.
These things are very critical. That new bridge that they're building more in there, at the back of it, I think a nice car park could be created there for the people in that community instead of blocking the road. They have no consideration for other motorists and it can cause accidents. So that is my suggestion. I believe a lot of the consideration should be centered around people carpooling.
Okay.
So you're going to Granans, you work at Southern Electrical, and somebody work at Ramdeni, or you work at Ace. 3-4 persons can carpool.
All right,
and save the amount of vehicles going down there on a particular day. Everybody going to work at the same time and finishing work at the same time.
Thank you,
caller. It does not make sense.
Thank you. Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. How are you this morning?
I am alive, not 100%, but I'm alive and thankful.
Yes, sir. Do you have a specific topic this morning?
No, it's an open version.
Okay. I just have a brief response to Citizen Rulo. I know Citizen Rulo is a very brilliant man listening to him over the years, and he knows that we are not truly independent. This independence is just a farce. We are just a small dot in the scheme of things, and they will never allow us. We will never be allowed to formulate our own constitution for our own specific purposes. Let me make myself substantive point. Mr. Innocent, read the gospel, and I've noticed that Jesus Christ, it is recorded there that Jesus Christ is God, but when he on earth, he was also man, truly man, 100% man, 100% God. And ever so often they said he went to pray. He spent a lot of time in prayer. Before he faced that great danger of his crucifixion, terrible danger, he spent 40 days fasting and praying. Throughout the Old Testament, we see that throughout the Israelite nations, when the kings were threatened by powerful nations to annihilate them, to coming and do them great danger, the kings who were spiritual, who had a great relationship with God, including David, asked for prayer and fasting. One such case is Esther. Esther and her peoples were living in a Babylon country. Esther got married to the king, King Xerxes, and the man closest to the king hated the people, hated her cousin Mordecai, and he made the king. He influenced the king to pass a rule to kill out Esther and her people. The king didn't know. Esther had that on her shoulder to carry. She had to go to, she wasn't living in the king's palace, but she had her own chamber. She only could go to the king when she was called. Her time was already called, but the cousin was pressing her, bring this to the king, he has to know. But she had to go for her people. She asked for prayers and fasting. 3 days of prayers and fasting. She asked the people to go down in ashes. The story told, she even put dung on herself. Mr. Innocent, there is nothing more powerful than prayer. Prayer could change things. Now, Prime Minister Mr. Dickon have a very heavy decision to make on his shoulder, as if he is carrying now the peace and the security of America and the Caribbean on his shoulder. Very serious decision. What can we do for him? Pray for him. Because if he said no, it's going to have implications. If he say yes, it's going to have implications. America is the most powerful nation in the world. How could he stand down to America? We have to pray for our Prime Minister. We have to fast and pray. I wish he would call a day of prayer and fasting. He may or may not, but I know that there are a lot of Grenada. It's not a Christian nation, but there are a lot of Christian churches in the country. Call out for prayer and fast, people. Let us pray and fast, because this will have terrible, dire implications, whether you say no or yes. But prayers can change things.
Thank you
for giving me a hearing this morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Folks, it's 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, after 9 o'clock, that is. We take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Let's celebrate the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert on Sunday, November 9th from 5 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center with the best of Grenada, along with the Black Prince and the Pink Panther. Our partners, Hubbard's, GBN, Grenada Paper Products, Grenada Distillers Limited, makers of Clax Court, Grenada's #1 rum, Brentville Credit Union, Bryden and Miners, Agents 4, Johnny Walker, Smirnoff Vodka, and Campari, Renwick Thompson and Company Limited, Pierre Marcel, Hard On Plus, Gittins Healthcare, Dollar Savers Auto Parts, Rise and Shine Supermarket, Springs Food Mart, Excel Plaza, Clem Vision Eye Center, Chillaxing Cafe, Ansett Coating, Victory Bar, Blue Bubba's PA Rental and Events Supply, Chateau de la Motte, Grenada, Captain Harris Apartments, Gem Holiday, Beach Resorts, Dana's City Inn, Glen Egg, Springwater, and the Grenada Trade Center. Sunday, November 9th, 5 p.m. Grenada Trade Center, the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert. Please be seated by 4 p.m. Hubbard's Legends in Concert. Grenada, this is the big one. The most anticipated event of 2025 is finally here. The 15th edition of the Wagiti Carib Super Knockout Football Championship. National Stadium, Saturday, October 18th. Kickoff, 6 p.m. sharp. 2 massive opening games. Paradise FC Youth versus Honved FC. And Hurricanes SC Youth versus 10 EXO Legends. Then win head stateside. Jamaican sensation, Tentic. Grenada's finest, Rising Star, Sandam, the Soca Monarch King, Muddy, the Groovy Monarch, Golden, Shopri, Zutiman, Sakina, and the Alpha One Band. Admission main stand, $15. Bleachers, $40. Then on Monday, October 20th, more football action. Game 1, Combined Northerners versus Sweet Tours. Grenada SDFC Youths. Game 2, SAFL versus Fontenoy United. Admission Monday, just $20. 15 years of football glory and vibe. Don't hear about it. Be there.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. Let's go straight back to the telephone line. It's To The Point. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Right, Mr. Innocent. Good morning, sir.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, brother. Yes, señor, to mi amigo. Now, listen, it's over 2 years now. Okay? Now, listen very carefully, Mr. Innocent. It's over 2 years now. People have been calling for Dusty Highway, which has 6 homes there. Now, listen, and they remove it. The former government, they remove it. Please, Mr. Innocent, we are calling on the relevant authorities. Please put back the house. Because these wicked young shoppies and them, you know what they're doing, Mr. Innocent? On Sunday morning, they are racing through Dusty Highway and killing people, dogs. The people that have the dogs and the side by the gap, you know, with the tag on it from School of Medicine and bunking it down. Just last Sunday,
these two cars was racing, and the guy killed one of the dog, and the dog was right on the side. You know?
Wow.
Oh my God, I was right there. I was going to work, and it's up morning, 7:45, Mr. Innocent. And I'm calling on Mr. Deacon Mitchell and the Honorable the Governor General. Please, I want you all put in Parliament for animals, especially cruelty on animals, which is dogs. Put a law restriction on it. When a human being bunks a dog or who's called it a chop it, the police officers should arrest them, and if you don't want to pay, 6 months in prison. They don't know the use of a dog. Oh my God, when you sit and you look on TV and all these people in North America, in Africa, South America, have dogs inside the house or in the veranda. The only thing they cannot talk. Oh my God. You come from work, he's waiting for you in the gap. And you know, these two cars, Mr. Innocent, water run my eye. They're always killing dogs inside the sea, especially these young guys. Like on Sunday morning, they're speeding, even in morning time, Mr. Innocent, when they're going to work, they're doing the same. They have hardware inside it, people up and down. You know, we need back 600 inside it, please. Please. Anyhow, you have a good weekend, you and your crew and board.
Thank you very much, caller. I do feel for you. I do hope that the relevant authorities are listening. And by the way, I will reach out to the traffic department and see what can be done. Good morning, caller via WhatsApp.
Innocent, good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Innocent, how are you doing anyway?
Alive and thankful.
Okay. All right. Innocent, I heard you had a topic this morning, but then I have something else to talk about too. But then I just want to say that. What's about municipal parking, like what we have in the United States, where people could park the cars, they could leave it there and stuff on it. What's about like implementing like meters, like, you know, the meters over here? You pay about, let me say, like about 50 cents, you may get 8 minutes, so every time you have to keep putting money, whatever.
I don't think that in itself, the problem here is that is traffic congestion. Okay, so putting up parking meters and so forth would not ease the congestion. It would just give people legitimacy to park a particular area. What we need to do is to find ways to get out of this congestion that we're having. There have been some suggestions of building private car parks or public car parks and so forth. Yeah, but the meters, I don't see how that would ease the congestion problem that we're faced with. So get to your other point.
Okay, but in a sense, when you put meters, right, and people have a certain time, that's the reason why you have traffic, people going around. So if you don't put back money there, you could be ticketed and towed. You understand?
How does people know that they don't how does ticketing and towing away ease the traffic congestion?
Because people are going to afraid to park now because the car will be towed away. Then you have to pay hundreds of dollars to get back your car.
Okay, all right. Okay.
All right. Okay, what I want to say now, Innocent, I've been monitoring the situation in Grenada with the United States, and then, you know, I feel it very ironic that we're not hearing from the opposition, and especially the opposition told us that they have to rescue Grenada. I mean, now they get a chance to lead and make statement, because I heard from Mr. Scott that Ms. Pierre was going to make a statement before the weekend, and up to now we don't hear nothing from them. And I call in on the journalists, and I think if we have good journalists in Grenada, they should be able to go to the opposition leader, because if the Prime Minister is off island right now, he's not back, we should be hearing something from those who are supposed to be rescuing Grenada. Now they get a chance to lead and they're not leading. So I'm asking the journalists and them to question them. And what I think the Prime Minister should do when he comes, take the matter to Parliament and let we have a vote on it. You know what I mean? And then let us see who vote yes and who vote no. You know,
when you say we in this case refers to whom? Because if we go to Parliament, only the parliamentarians get to vote, eh?
Yeah. Well, let the parliamentarian vote on it, all right, and then after the Prime Minister, based on the vote, he will call a prime time live where you get to address the public. And if Grenadians did not fight, I think that Grenadians should go on the street and demonstrate and let America know how they feel about it. But then we need the opposition to say something. Why they hiding? Now is the time that they get the time to lead, because they say they're rescuing Grenada. Now it's time Grenada need rescue.
Okay.
In a sense, have a great weekend, man. Always a pleasure speaking to you.
All the time, man. Enjoy New York, all right? Don't say too much. Next thing you have to come back in a barrel. Yeah? So I say, good morning, caller. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome for welcoming me. Good morning at the same time. Number one, congestion traffic. I find the government of the day, they split the payment twice per month. I feel they could do something about the time for work. Everybody rushing to go to work for 8 o'clock and everybody leaving to work 4 o'clock. So we have a congestion, number one. If you could, just as how you split the payment, I feel it could make some workers go for, put it in a place that some workers go for 8 to 4 and some work from 9 to 5. You know, so I don't know if that could, if you see any sense in that could help ease the traffic.
Well, it's something that could, I mean, if it is implemented properly, it could have some easement, but I think we need more than that. The level of traffic that we, one of the things that a caller said previously, which makes a whole lot of sense, but Grenada has become such a selfish place that I don't know how that will work. The issue of carpooling, because we have so many people going to the same location, but everybody wants to be driving their own car. And that's fine, but we cannot accommodate them. That's the problem.
That's true. And number two, people crying for hump. I don't find the hump making sense in my little country. I will tell you why. Because you put hump here, that means you want me to slow down here. And we don't have hump, you want me to drive fastly. I find the government of the day shouldn't let a few stupid drivers affect the nation, because I put hump here affecting emergency vehicles as well. Example, the fire truck, the ambulance, them things have a lot of negative effect on the emergency vehicles. I find, for example, they teach a lot of us to drive. To get license, but they don't teach us to drive. We had license so we could show up and show the world that we could drive. You know, so that really these are taking back the license from drivers. You accumulate points. You charge them once, twice, 3 times. The 4th time you take us, you give them a 6 months break. Let you put a piece up on news. Let them see that person don't have a valid driver's license. And they catch that person violating the law, driving without a valid license, he should be prosecuted. I don't know if you find that making sense as well.
A whole lot of sense.
They shouldn't be letting a few stupid drivers affect the whole nation. The past administration installed cameras on police. They should put cameras on poles. We expect them to drive fast. And you put points on that license. And if me and his friend, and I see they take your license innocent, I wouldn't want to lose my license. I will keep myself within the limit.
Okay.
The erect speed limit sign through the country, where they know they didn't have 40 miles zone, they didn't have 10 miles zone, we erect the speed limit to remind them where they is. And then they start taking license from them. I bet you that caused the accidents. And that will still ease up our big problem.
Okay.
That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much. Let's go to our WhatsApp platform. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Innocent.
Welcome. How are you doing?
Not so bad. Listen, God is good, and He's brought you on the program this morning because you brought up this thing on your first program, and the line was chock-a-block. Thank God you are on the second program, which is to the point, and it's the same thing again, right? And going on from that, you've brought up this thing several times regarding traffic in Grenada. It's getting really bad, and it's about time somebody really takes some notice. Here's my contribution, right?
Okay.
Look, they need to have a toll in Grenada. You know what a toll is?
No, tell me.
Okay, when you come in through St. George's, because I think it's only in St. George's, right? Right now in St. George's, people have to pay to come in with a vehicle. That's a toll, right?
Oh, okay,
so
all right.
You have cameras.
Okay.
From the time they enter that zone, whatever the zone is, they would have to pay, right? Now, how you combat that? Because it's unfair for people, right? Look at the stadium. There's a big stadium there. When there's event there, there's a massive car park there. Make that a car park, but a paid car park like Ariza have in the town in St. George's Day. You pay to park there and you walk into St. George's. That will eliminate traffic in St. George's. You understand where I'm coming from?
But, yeah, I understand, but parking, Ariza car park is actually, you're congesting the traffic even going to park.
Here what one? Ariza car park is absolutely full now, right? But what I'm saying is, right, put a toll around St. George's, coming from the wider part of St. George's, coming from St. David's, coming from wherever you want, wherever the road leads to into St. George's, put a toll. But you must provide car parks like in the stadium, so they could go and park in the stadium and other places where they build car park, right? And they walk into town. That will eliminate traffic in the town center, and it'll give people time to listen. Grenada haven't got roads to widen, so they have to do something, and that is, I don't think it's a bad idea. You understand me? But and they're making money, because when you open the car park in the stadium there, I'm just giving you an example. The stadium is one of them. Then it will be paid. They have to pay, just like Ariza charge for their car park. They have to pay, and they walk into town and they walk back with their shopping, whatever. Right. You understand me? Because something needs to be done, because you've brought it up several times on your program. And it's getting worse by the minute. You cannot stop people from bringing car into the country. There's men from Japan sending car left, right, and center. People come in and live down there. They're bringing the car with them left, right, and center. So you have to look at the alternative. And this is the alternative I just said.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a good one. Yes. Thank you very much. Folks, it's 22 minutes on to 10 o'clock. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. This is To The Point.
Grenadians, get ready to commemorate National Heroes Day on Sunday, October 19th at the former Riviera Hotel site next to Comahorn Park. Grand dance from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. The theme for this year's commemoration, honoring our legacy, inspiring our future. This National Heroes Day commemoration promises to be one to remember, with a prayer and worship segment, the spoken word, and a powerful message from our special guest speaker. National Heroes Day Commemoration 2025 will also see the official sword turning on the grounds of the Riviera site, which will then be known as National Heroes and Heritage Park. Sunday, October 19th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. National Heroes Day Commemoration, Monrouge, St. George. See you there.
Come on out, Grenada. Let's move to live. Sunday, October 26, 2025. Fitness walk beginning with warm-up at 2 p.m. at Progress Park St. Andrew. Organize your churches, clubs, family, and community. Great prizes to be won. Call 442-7450 to order your t-shirts now. Features and attractions galore to keep you moving. Hosted by the Health and Youth Departments of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists.
Residents of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, have you ever wondered how you can benefit from Grenada's Citizenship by Investment program? Join the Investment Migration Agency of Grenada for the next IMA Symposium series on October 22nd at 5:30 p.m. at the Mermaid Hotel Conference Room, Carriacou. This public forum will explore how local developers and those aspiring to become developers can access new earning opportunities through the CBI program. Hear from key experts representing the Investment Migration Agency, the CBI Committee, and the Grenada Investment Development Corporation as they discuss recent regulatory changes designed to expand local participation. This is your chance to gain insight, ask questions, and discover how you can be part of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique's development story. Don't miss it. Join the conversation on October 22nd at 5:30 p.m. at the Mermaid Hotel Conference Room.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. It's To The Point. Let's go straight back to our WhatsApp platform. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Thanks for your patience.
Oh, thank you. First, I would like to say a celebration, happy birthday to Mrs. Mitchell, 103, I think she turned.
Yeah.
I would like to celebrate it. The whole country should be celebrating with her and ask her what's the secret. Anyways, concerning the roads and stuff, this is something that we're just going around in circles. So I hope Andy Williams is listening. Honorable Andy Williams, we need some overpass. Wherever you are, I hope you're listening. We need some overpass. Overpass is the answer. We cannot widen. We cannot slow down with the cars. It's just overpass. That's all we can do. Use the air. Go up. Concerning the lights, if we don't have lights, how would we cross the road? When would we cross the road? You'll just be watching cars going up, down, up. When would you cross? You must have lights. In the big world, we have lights and we have to wait on the lights, obey the lights. Our problem is we don't like to obey stuff. That's a big problem.
Okay.
So we must have lights, whatever. You know what I mean? The carpooling part, that's a joke. Because when you owe the bank for your car, and some people, you give them a ride every day. I ain't saying that I'm not encouraging selfishness. I'm just being realistic. You have your loan to pay, whatever. Some people give them a ride every day. They will give you 5 cents for gas. And then when you reach to work in the evening and you want to come home, you want to chill out, by a friend, a girlfriend, boyfriend in a bar. You have to go and pick up people to drop them home. So this carpooling thing will talk till you drop. It's not going to work. It might work for 1%.
Okay.
So anyway, as we say, have a good day. It's a good day to have a good day.
It's a good day to have a good day. Thank you, caller. Have a good day yourself.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Alive and thankful. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Yeah. The last caller is almost right because, you see, we need public transportation. Without that, leaders are going to rush and buy a car, and then they go clog up the road, and there'll be traffic jam all over the place. Because our country is small. There is so much of vehicle we could take. But yet for all our leaders think about bringing in more vehicles is going to solve the problem. But a young man finishes school, yes, he's going to work. He can take the bus in the morning time. When he comes back home, he wants to go somewhere else or stop work. He can get in a car because why he needs to move. And that's the reason why people buying so much vehicles, because they want to move. And there's no transportation for them to move. So unless we get to our head that we need public transportation, this thing will get worse, and worse. My second point is that I think last night or this morning, President Trump approved CIA covert strike on Venezuela.
Not strike, but operations, not strike. He did not tell him to strike.
Yeah, operation, yes.
Uh-huh.
So I'm saying that the thing has started. And up to now, we haven't heard from our leaders in this country yet what is really going on. So I'm saying that the caller and says the opposition should make a statement. I mean, come on. We elect a prime minister. He's supposed to be telling us what's going on. What is our position? We don't know where he's there. We don't know what to say. I think calling for the opposition is like calling for the outside woman to come and deal with a child in the house. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense.
But you know, to put things, boy, what? Calling the outside woman to come and deal with the child in the house. Okay. All right. Both government and private sector should give incentives to employees to carpool. So says one of contributors via the WhatsApp platform. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Mr. Joseph, good morning again.
How you do?
I'm doing very well.
Nice.
And not strike, covert operation.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Innocent, listen to this, eh? The cruise ship terminus there. The bus terminus. The fish market in the city. And all of these lands we reclaim. Tell me, since then, why we have not heard the past government nor the present one talking about continuing to take to back the sea and take this land to go all the way back to the stadium, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it does.
That will help solve quite a bit of problems that we have with traffic in the city. And over a period of time, as we rectify the traffic, you will realize that same space there will become commercial space. Now, Innocent, if you give animals 3 acres of land to run, they go run the whole 3 acres. Fence out 1 acre and give to them. And over a period of time, they will make sure that they are comfortable in this 1 acre. You know, the stadium car park, put people there to park. Now, when you want to come into the city, now it's a voucher system. So you buy your book of voucher, you could only park in one space for 1 hour. And maybe each voucher costs you $5. When you park, the time and everything is on the voucher based on what is organized. So you scratch out the time that you park. You can only be there for 1 hour. So when the traffic wardens pass through the city and they check the vehicles parked, they look at the time these vehicles are parked. And then when they pass back again in an hour and a half or 2 hours and these vehicles are there, they are ticketed. So it's one way for us to control the process, and it's another way to help pay for it. Parking vouchers, 1 hour. When we come back, we find you in the same park, you get a ticket. If not, when your hour up, you're supposed to come and move your vehicle to another park where you will pay another $5. But if you park in the stadium car park, let us assume you pay $250 to come into the city. Based on where you're going, yeah. When you live in the city, you pay another $250 to get back to the stadium car park. It costs you $5 for the entire day, without creating any inconvenience or difficulties for traffic. Okay. Or other people using the city. Mr. Dung, Innocent, have a pleasant weekend.
You too, my brother. Have a good one yourself. It's 11 minutes on to 10 o'clock. The RGPF only have traffic officers on working days, but we need officers every day, especially on public holidays and on weekend. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Mr. Innocent.
Good morning. Welcome
I'm very, 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 very glad that you take my call this morning.
Okay.
Now,
I would be glad if you could turn down this volume in the background.
I don't know, you know. I don't have no volume turn up or turn down. What I have is a little small cell phone, as you would say. So I don't know how would I turn it down. Now, anyhow, what I'm saying, everybody have ideas. But some of these ideas could be put into effect. Now, if we stop import vehicles, we have to fire people like you and other people because we won't be able to get enough money to keep up the country. So we must import the vehicles. We must underline the word must and put it in inverted commas. We must import it. We must do all those things that we are doing. What we have to do is to charge, have maybe a gate or gates where as soon as you want to go into the city, you pay if it's $1 or $2 and you collect revenue. This is one of the many things you can do. But as long as we stop import vehicles, we're doomed to failure because the government or us or we want the money to run out the country. In fact, what I do find even in Grenada, we're doing work we should never do. For example, when we look over Granite Tank, we put in banks that would come down as soon as the rain is excessive. And according to you, I don't know if you will say that, the little small drain cannot take up the mud or the waste that would come into this little small drain. Bear in mind, I said the little and the small,
Okay.
No. And this is what we have to do. We have to see where we have to re-educate our people. Well, every time I talk about re-educate people, that this man believe in no. But I'm capable of handling myself in all aspects of life. Okay. All aspects.
Thank you.
So we need the people who are ruling to do something before it's too late. Yes, we need the money, as one minister said. We need the money. And we cannot cut short on many other things that we are doing. But I find building this Granite Tank Road where you'll find more accidents because when this mud come into the road, people will slide more, not people personally, the vehicles would slide, they would skid. So we have to do something instead of widening this Granite Tank Road, or trying to widen it.
Okay.
And we can build bridge, we can build embankment wall. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. It's 8 minutes away from 10 o'clock. It's to the point, and I really want to thank you for your level of engagement this morning. Trust me on that. It shows how concerned we are as to, the traffic situation. I think it's important that the relevant authorities, the RGPF and physical planning, need to have some, maybe some consultation, some talks around the country. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Innocent. How are you, sir?
Alive and thankful. How are you?
Good, Mr. Innocent. Mr. Innocent, some of the home is too high when they put them home, for them to high and the hole. As the guys said, we need to bring back public transportation because when you go into America, a lot of people leave their car home, and they come with public transportation because there's no parking. So we have to do that, right? Mr. Innocent, this morning I pick up a guy he came with the same general and them. Hotel called me to pick up this one to drop in the airport. So I asked him his opinion. He's a Caribbean guy. He's from Trinidad anyway, but he came with the group. And he was going back this morning. He said he's saying 6 cents and I pick him up in La Luna. I asked him his public opinion about this thing. He told me it's very good for Grenada. I said, because he said what happened, if the airspace, don't mind if something coming, it will pick it up from long so we could know. If they use airspace, we will know. He said it's very good for Grenada. He told me, Trump does do some shit, but there's one thing Trump do. He didn't afraid to say that. He said Trump does do a lot of shit, but there's one good thing Trump was doing. That's what he told me this morning before I dropped him. I asked him his opinion on those things, and he told me it's good. He told me look for oil long, but he couldn't get oil long at all.
Okay.
He couldn't get oil long.
Well, he lived Trinidad and come up here for oil long. Trinidad, that have oil. We have oil up here.
No. He come from Trinidad.
Yeah.
He come with the group.
I know.
How they call it?
With the Southern Command Group.
He's not in Trinidad. He come from the States. Then.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that come with the how do you call the man that came?
Yeah, the Mr. Mosley.
Right, and talk to Connaught. He was one of them. Okay. But he say a couple of days, he wanted to stay a couple of days by himself in Grenada. But he said he couldn't find oil long. All we tried, he couldn't find oil long. And so
just had to call me.
Yeah, he
just had to call me. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, he say he's very good. But that something was very good for Grenada. That's
so
what he told me.
Having heard him say that, has it changed your perspective on it?
Well, I find find so too. I say that on something good for Grenada. I was looking at it for the longest while.
Okay.
I say it's something good for Grenada. We don't see it. We Grenadians don't see nothing, It's still when something happen, we don't see the problem, everything we don't turn down, The same people that quarrel all the time and say, let them come, we will bury them in the sea. Who was talking all the Marxist thing and thing. When the revolution fall, where they run, all of them want to run to America. And it's them that's sending barrel and boxes for the family to Grenada. That's the same people that hate America so much. That's how the Grenadians don't talk. You understand? And some people talking about independence. No country not independent. Even if America depend on China, they depend on Russia, or one depend on the other. No country in the world is independent. Because you would eat what you grow and grow what you eat if you was independent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. It's 4 minutes away from 10 o'clock. It's to the point. And as we said, we just threw out the opportunity so that you can call in and make your contribution. It's, doesn't matter what, But going back to the traffic issue, the congestion. Listen, we have to think futuristic, all right? That's me talking now, my personal opinion. We have to be thinking futuristic. We cannot continue to cater for just what we have here now. If we were to look back 40, 50 years, we had the same road network. No, in my opinion, no new roads were built. Maybe feeder roads and so forth, but in terms of a main road, no expansion except what we had in Port Louis and so forth. The Port Louis and the bus terminus and right. So we have to. Something drastic has to be done because whether we like it or not. That's part of progress. Commerce is increasing, businesses are expanding, so we have to make the necessary adjustments so that we can cater for. That's the price of progress. Good morning, caller. Caller, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yes, good morning. How are you this morning? And thanks for taking my call.
Well, we always do.
Sorry, say that again?
Go right ahead, please.
All right. So listen, when you think about open spaces, you're looking at car parks. Yes, I hear the suggestion you back the sea and so on, but it would cause some damage to the beaches and so on. But listen this, and don't find me absurd. But listen this, you have the Center Cemetery. You have the Wilberforce Cemetery. Here in the United States where I live, they build high-rise buildings. We can build a car park. Look at the topography. Look at how the cemetery is made up, right? Take, for example, when you go by the summer house, they're right on the top of that hill. If you cover that and put a car park over that open space, you have a lot of open space right in the cemetery. It doesn't mean that you're taking away the cemetery, because the cemetery would always be there. But what would happen over the cemeteries are car parks. I rest my case. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, caller, all the way from the U.S. Yeah, it's 1 minute away from 10 o'clock according to my time here. Let's accommodate this call and say good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Anderson.
Hi, welcome again.
Well, back on the road. It is a serious thing, and let me explain. Number one, I don't know if you've ever been to Austria.
No, I haven't.
Well, right. If I had to build any road in Grenada, I'm not going to no US, no Chinese, no Japanese, nothing. I'm going to Austria. Because Austria is like this, they have the same kind of hillsy things. And what they're glad for is like how you see we have the hills, They building the road above, and it's on the hill. They're starting with some of the, that's where they're suspending some of the pillars. But of course, you're going to need, in the flat, you're going to need a pillar go up. So the same mistake we make now in this era, where we didn't make a plan for widening the road and things. If we don't get engineers and drop the plan and get it now, we're going to lose out on that opportunity, because places where you're going to need to put a long pillar up, people is going to start to occupy these places. So we have to think of going above with a road, and if we're not doing that, we have to think with a cable car. Cable cars is another thing you can do. Then we have to operate from the sea coast. It's already set up nicely. Look at Guelph Jetty. Look at Granans Jetty. Look at Puta Jetty in concrete strip to reach down by the airport. And this thing could start there. If they put these things properly, you're going to see individuals start coming up with an idea and do some of the things. But we must make a change now, because if you go right around Grenada and look at travel over the hill yesterday, and there's no way you could ride the road from St. George's to Grenville. Same thing on the western coast. Same thing on the other side from Granite Valley, go up, right up. Because the cost to move people houses and get property for them to live and even build back their place, it's going to cost billions of dollars. So it's cheaper to go above right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. And with that, it brings us to the end of the To The Point program for today and for the week, as a matter of fact. I want to say thank you very much to all those of you who contributed to the program, and if the good Lord spare our lives, we'll have another program on Monday. Have a safe, enjoyable, restful, prayerful weekend, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye. God bless.